Dacey. Well, a change, that is, by opting to kick for touch and not putting the ball down for the 22 dropout that we so often see. Malcolm Dacey, just a little niggling injury he's recovered from, playing his 9th full international. Now the line-out contest, and Maurice Colclough at the front for England. Bainbridge, the middleman. Behind Bainbridge, Andy Dunn, the newcomer. Colclough. Dunn came round, fired out to Dacey. And opening partnership beginning well. Reunited after an interval of almost a season. And there you go, there's Maurice Colclough, this is 21st international. Good work by Scott. Nick Youngs, Underwood going inside through to Wheeler, just outside the Wales 22, kicked on by Scott. Good early pressure from England. Number 1 there, Paul Rendell, the new prop forward, 30 years old, from the Wasps club. Wales in defence. Holmes there, sleeves rolled up, looking the general again. That was Norster, tremendous leap. Holmes, Dacey. Safe enough, but still pinned down within their own 22. So two sides who've both beaten Ireland this season, but lost to the other two, Scotland and France. And fighting, of course, for 3rd place in the Five Nations Championship, but pride really is what's at stake most of all. Norster again, but difficult ball. Holmes, Winterbottom at him. Dacey just outside his own line. England drive in. Holmes gets it away, but a hand helped it back, and the penalty is England's reward.
Well, Wales seem to have elected and won the toss, given England the opportunity to kick off this game, and England have taken full advantage of that, keeping Wales very much penned inside their own 22 in these initial minutes. Dusty Hare will be given a relatively easy kick here, and it's a sort of start that England would have dreamt of.
So 3 minutes played, Dusty Hare. Bang on target, and England take the lead. Dusty Hare hoists his England tally to 56 penalty goals, 207 points in the England jersey. And as so often before, it's Hare that gives England the lead.
If Wales are going to look after Terry Holmes, then they must offer him a bit better protection than they did in that ball that squirted out from that loose maul. Holmes was caught in two minds, really had to shovel on the responsibility to Dacey, and he had very little option but to run into the English cover defence.
Hal Davies. Players down like 9 pins, but ball in touch. Terry Holmes of Cardiff, just 27 last week. Winterbottom at the back alongside David Pickering, and 2 number 8s, Scott and Butler. Youngs to Hare. It's a fine clearance. Six is the young Wasp, Andy Dunn. Down goes Pickering, but Winterbottom set it up for Dunn. Young's trying to extricate himself. England without the scrum half. Wheeler challenges, but it's Holmes. Good footwork. And Holmes taking advantage there of the absence of Nick Youngs, who was caught in the loose maul. And again, the right option, not risking the pick-up, but using his feet to good effect. So about 10 metres outside England's 22. Bainbridge trying to reflect, but it's come to Holmes and Dacey. Didn't really carry far enough forward. Slight breeze, difficult to gauge, but not of any great impact. The wind up from Winterbottom, but Wales are offside. Perkins round. So it's Rusty Hare. One of 6 Leicester Tigers in the side. And safe line kicking from the fullback. Perkins, the front jumper on Wales throw-in. Norster marked by Bainbridge. Norster again. Holmes takes them on. Moriarty acting as a scrum half. Good run by Dacey. Finds support from Pickering. The tackle by Winterbottom. Up from Holmes again. Nice switch to Dacey. Hadley. Carlton in with the tackle. Good enterprise from Wales.
And Malcolm Dacey proving that there is nothing really wrong with his hamstring with that fine run. But the line-out is very interesting, isn't it, with the 3 locks who are on the British Lions tour, who would know each other's ploys and jumps, and we're interested to see how the confrontation carries on.
It's Perkins, the odd one out, so to speak, in that quartet. Just outside England's 22. Youngs outside the 22, so trying to drop it in from touch. And Hadley, knock on is given. Must have felt the pressure then of the England pack bearing down on him. One of the youngsters in the Wales back division, Adrian Hadley, just 21. So the halfway line England's put in. Trying to straighten the scrummage. Winterbottom on this open side. Youngs, Cusworth, straight through to Woodward, Underwood, Hare in support, and Titley in with a good tackle, denying England the breakthrough. Mike Stevens, Phil Blakeway at the front. Perkins and Colclough, Rendell and Eidman from the front. Norster again. Holmes, Dacey, Ackerman, Blethin-Bowen, bit high by Cusworth, penalty.
It's a good decision by referee Brian Anderson. I'm not saying for one moment that Les Cusworth's tackle was premeditated. It's just one of those off moment's notice. It came through very, very quickly and just taken his neck off. We can see it again. Watch the move inside to Blethin-Bowen. Les Cusworth obviously is keen to pull him down and keep man and ball, but his arm went up a little bit too high, and all the referees are now told to cut those kind of tackles out.
The hold up for a quick change of shorts for Adrian Hadley. And with sufficient modesty, damage repaired. So it's Howell Davies with a chance to put the scores level. 9.5 minutes into this first half. Howell Davies has that angle head on to the post, about 32 metres out. In good form this season already, 25 points for Wales. The touch judge is in some doubt, and the kick. The referee still discussing with Jim Fleming. The Scottish touch judge, Brian Anderson, there still looks across for confirmation, but not given, I'm pretty certain. Or is that a thumbs up? Well, the confirmation will be certain whether it's placed or dropped. Difficult angle to judge. The referee
But Alan Hosey did signal that it should be taken from the halfway, so he must have been sure that the kick had been given.
So back to the halfway, and no doubt 3-all. That's Titley. Howell Davies in trouble. Titley recovered well. Hadley. Holmes. Dacey. Interesting to note, the England players in no doubt at all that the ball had gone over from the penalty kick straight back to the halfway, and of course alternatively it would have been a dropout on the 22. So 3-all it is. 11 minutes played. Down from Bainbridge, bounced away from Youngs, but he has it now, only just as Pickering comes through. Cusworth trying to break. Ackerman was in with the tackle. The pick up by Dunn. Midfield, just short of the England 10-metre line. Burn there. Youngs with the scrum feed. Nick Youngs, former captain of England's 19 group, and see referee Brian Anderson just checking the far side of the scrummage. Wales anticipate the put-in, and penalty awarded to England. So the early shove penalised. Just the hair for touch. First capped dusty hair against Wales 10 years ago. Pickering tucked it down eventually to Holmes. Dacey, Ackerman, bit of enterprise again from Wales. Howell Davies in the line, well covered. Burn in trouble. Back goes Dacey. Well, Wales opting for adventure, but England very fast up to cancel out the possible overlap with the fullback coming in. And it's England's throw in about 5 metres out. Colclough, Bainbridge, John Scott, the options, deflected by Colclough. Drop goal attempt by Cusworth, just shades the right of the post.
Well, Wales' enterprise is keeping the crowd buzz in here, but I'm not so sure whether the judgment is correct. Even though they look very confident in trying to move the ball, trying to move it inside their 22 or very much deep inside their own half, has given Cusworth, as we see here, an opportunity to put England ahead. But then Wales are trying to play this open type of game, and it'll be interesting to see how it develops.
Scott sets it up. In comes Wheeler. The link man to Youngs. Cusworth. That's working out well for Woodward. Titley is on him. The ball, Woodward follows through. And Wales back inside their own 22. Underwood. Can he beat the tackle of Titley? And Youngs forced out. Well, we saw the ability of Underwood to seize the chance when it comes against France with that glorious try in Paris. And just the close marking of Titley kept him at bay. Holmes. Sure, he'll be wanting to settle the Welsh side down a bit and tighten it up a bit more up front. Three points all. 15 minutes played. England 10 metres out from the Welsh goal line. That was Butler with the tap back. Moriarty in to try and tidy it up. Players in at all angles. England offside. So Bleddyn Bowen with that left foot hooked it a bit. Another of the Welsh backs to have come through this season from the disastrous game in Bucharest against Romania to establish his place in the side, and with it an improvement in Wales's fortunes. Scott and Butler, and Scott, you can see, I think, reacted to being held by Butler. Holmes to Dacey, just got it away as Cusworth came through. Good pressure clearance from Dacey, who has that cool look about him. England two-man line-out. Colclough and Bainbridge. Moriarty and Norster. Well, that worked for Norster, not for England. Set up by Perkins. Holmes. Dusty Hare. Yes, good kick. A no-win situation that for Dusty Hare, with a well-placed ball from Holmes. Just short of England's 10-metre line. That's Moriarty. Throw in, not straight. In 15, and Young's trying to straighten the scrummage. Well, no doubt Andy Dunn there on this near flank will have settled down those early nervous moments over. John Scott. Holmes ready to pounce in with that effective tap tackle, causing problems for Youngs.
Wales seem to have carried on this skirmish where they left off against France. It's very solid, putting a lot of pressure on England's put in.
And secure again. Butler. Scott took the man. Pickering now. Moriarty. And Titley poised, anticipating the switch to the open side, just took his eye off the ball momentarily. So England's put in. Heels back on their own 22. Clean strike, shelter for Youngs. Another loose pass. Hare takes it coolly enough, but Tetley keeps it in play. Howell Davies. Good feed for Ackerman. Tries to get inside Woodward. Cross goes Underwood. And I think one thing you'll notice this afternoon is the intention of England's wingers to play down the same flank whenever possible, particularly in attack, so that you'll see Carlton and Underwood perhaps in harmony. But it's Wales putting the pressure on. Youngs just eludes the grasp of Watkins.
I think the line-out is being cancelled out with Bainbridge and Colclough competing with Norster. Hence the reason both sets of half-backs are having a bit of a torrid time, having to get the ball quickly away to touch or to their fly halves.
Long, meant for Pickering, but taken by Scott. Slip back from Rendell. Youngs. Good clearance.
England's tackling has also been very good in the first 20 minutes of this game, and with Wales keen to move the ball, they look a little bit vulnerable on the tackle to the English back row picking up the loose ball.
Again, England winning line-out ball off Wales throw-in. It's Titley with the attentions of Underwood and Woodward. Winterbottom through now with Ackerman trying to stabilise it, but Youngs has it. Cosworth, Woodward, Carlton, Barley looping outside. And Wales offside. So in their eagerness to get up on England on that useful looking attack, Wales just a bit too early, and that gives Dusty Hare a chance to regain the lead for England. Well, 42 points for England last season, a record now already with 32 this in the championship. Chance of the lead back. Inch perfect. Well, in a day when place-kicking values are so high in determining the outcome of international matches, the reliability of Dusty Hare is quite exceptional. So England regain the lead, 21.5 minutes of this first half gone. Davies of Bridgend. There's Norster there into spoil. Youngs. His clubmate Dusty Hare. That's a good line pick. Only about 5 metres in from touch and a good 40 metres downfield. Wales back in their own half. All fairly subdued at the moment. The crowd has quietened considerably. Holmes caught by Andy Dunn. Dunn again though. Youngs, Cosworth, problems. Loose pass, dangerous to give possession to Ackerman. Moriarty takes out Cosworth. Pickering, Holmes, Dacey. Could be 3-2 here. Glennon-Bowen, Hadley tries to round Carlton, but doesn't.
And once again we saw the English halfbacks under pressure, and Cosworth, instead of killing the ball, passing on the responsibility to his centres with a very difficult pass to his centres, and Wales quickly pounced on the ball. And this tends to be the pattern so far in this first 20 minutes or so of the game. Cut and thrust all the way.
Both sets of halfbacks under pressure, but Holmes this time more confident. Pickering. Norster unable to cling to it. The referee looks for any advantage but gives the knock on. And when Holmes really gets up that tremendous acceleration like that, he really can create devastation in defence. But England lucky as Norster lost possession. Scrummage drops, and referee Brian Anderson penalises Wales for pulling it down. So, relief for England. Dusty Hare with the touch kick. "24 minutes of this first half played. England ahead 2 penalties to 1. Norster at the back, Moriarty at the front for Wales. Meant to be long, wasn't quite straight, but referees let it go. Pickering. And in fact, advantage attempted, but none accruing. So they're back for the scrummage. England put in. Youngs, Cosworth. Useful ball, well taken by Hal Davies. Holmes just pushes Winterbottom out of the way as though he wasn't there.
But that was a far better scrummage ball by England. The quick ball come through from the back row. It wasn't held as this tends to do these days. Cazorla was able to get a ball very, very quickly and put Wales under pressure.
And England get the throw in. Scott. Winterbottom gets away. Barley, good pass to Woodward. Really had to shift it quickly. Colclough, Bainbridge, halfway line. Scott. Youngs to Cosworth. Racing across his Wales fullback, Davies. And a good recovery too. Good playing conditions. Dry ball, dry ground, slight breeze. Norster, Holmes, Dacey looks back into the box. Hare in trouble. Luckily for him, the kick quite a long way downfield, so with some time to recover, and well, good composure that to find a good touch after the initial error. Wales captain Mike Watkins, the impact he's had this season. Holmes, Dacey, Ackerman, short pass to him, tries the crunching run, brought down by Winterbottom. Moriarty, but it's Cosworth who pops it up to Underwood. Scott gets up at a bit of steam. England's 10-metre line. No ball emerging. And John Scott there caught a bit awkwardly as he went down, but safely back on his feet. As John Scott, England's most capped number 8 of all time. This is 32nd international. And of course familiar, especially with the play of his fellow Cardiff players in the opposition. That's Youngs. Unlucky on the bounce. Titley. So the 24-year-old England scrum half. Colclough pops it up. Scott, not the judge to have knocked it on. Youngs to Winterbottom. Youngs again. Cosworth. Woodward. Barley. Hare on the outside. Carlton had gone on the dummy run. Holmes is there with Howell Davies. In goes Hare with the tackle. Howell Davies loses possession. Holmes in defence on England's line, and Wales in desperate straits. Survive to put it down, but concede the 5-metre scrummage. And Watkins not the best pleased man on the field. Dusty Hare, the injured player. And England's nearest moment to a try.
But England have been threatening that. They've been tying Wales up in the rucks and the mauls, creating good quality possession with their half-backs. I thought up until now England have been a little bit uncertain in their passing movements, but a well-conceived ploy there, with Carlton running on the dummy run, ball straight out to Dusty Hare. But watch now, Wales is Terry Holmes and Howell Davies, really uncertain about who should take the ball. Davies, in coming forward, possibly should have done it. Holmes thought it was going to be his ball, and it almost led to an English try.
And still attention for Dusty Hare, but bang on the nose and back in the action. England's put in 5 metres out. Scott on the pick-up. England's back row go with him. Just brought down short. Ackerman to the rescue. Moriarty, a good pass under pressure to find Bowen, and there's that useful left foot again from the South Walian policeman. Blethen Bowen, police officer. This is 5th international, all of them this season, and puts the line out there about a couple of metres beyond the Wales 22 line. Young's taking a bit of a knock. sturdy figure, scrum half. Ten minutes of this half to go. 6-3 England lead. 2 penalties by this man, Dusty Hare. Ducks under the tackle of Moriarty. The Welsh pack have set it up. Holmes a bit loose from Dacey. The bounce to Hadley. Carlton, brave tackle. Wheeler, good recovery.
Yes, I was interested to notice Terry Holmes' pass there. He's very much lacking in match practice, and therefore he's getting a little bit sloppy in his passing because the adrenaline is flowing out of him now. Can't concentrate as much as he should be doing.
And a world of difference from club matches to the international arena. Maybe that lack of match fitness will tell. We'll see as the game wears on for Terry Holmes. Really is a major step, and well, what a great recovery it's been for a man of such determination, who kept himself strong and as fit as he could despite the long struggle back. Moriarty, dangerous ball as Winterbottom comes through. Really, Holmes had no chance. Dacey forced out by Wheeler. Ball forward. England scrummage. Peter Wheeler, 41 times capped, and in the heart of the matter, as always. Just one game less for England than John Pullen. Collapses, but it's still back. Cosworth straight through to Woodward. Has a go himself. Lovely gliding running style, but not getting away from the Welsh presence. Pops up to Winterbottom. Pirouettes away from Moriarty, finds Youngs in support. Blakeway. And some pretty robust attention going on there. Holmes. Carlton. Off the left foot. And well played.
And once again, that little bit of a lack of match practice meant that Holmes put the ball far too far away from touch. He had plenty of time in which to put the ball into the box and make Carlton give him a very little angle in which to kick the touch.
It's Holmes again then. Dacey, Ackerman, Blethenbowen, Titley. Underwood in with the tackle. And the players cancelling each other out, but enterprise from Wales, good defence from England and Rory Underwood. Spike Watkins of Newport. Butler, Holmes, Dacey, Titley. Didn't quite carry far enough forward as he would have wanted, but still in possession. Perkins, Pickering, trying to bullock his way through to the line. Is forced over, or is he? No try given. But it wasn't his impetus that carried him over, so it's a penalty, in fact, to England. How close to a try. Pickering not happy, but referee Brian Anderson quite adamant that he was brought down short of the line, stopped, and then took it again. Dusty Hare not finding touch, and Titley on the counter-attack. Good work. Howell Davies enveloped by Maurice Goldclough. Holmes is caught further upfield, so Butler's the link to Titley. Almost the intercept by Cosworth, but it's Dacey trying to break away. The game, the pace hotting up. And obstruction there by England, by Wales, and an England penalty on their 10-metre line.
Well, the Welsh supporters might be a little bit despondent, but at least Brian Anderson is in the right place at the right time, there for that decision when Dacey passed off the ground to give Hare a chance at that penalty kick to touch. But probably more important from the Welsh point of view, when David Pickering seemed to have crossed the line, but Anderson was very much on the line. It looked as if the drive from the Welsh pack behind him took him over with his own momentum, but the referee must have thought that he had been brought down short of the line and that there was 2 movements in going over the line.
Concern in England camp for Nick Youngs, England scrum half, attended by Don Gatherer. Took a bang a bit earlier in the match.
We'll see this try that it was almost on for Wales, with the Holmes going back on the blind side. Some good interplay by the Welsh backs here. Titley does well to keep the momentum going. Some good support play coming up now from the Welsh forwards. And Pickering, you can see the anguish on his face when he runs back. Really thought that he was over, but we might be able to see this. Anderson is up very, very close to him. Sees the tackle, now he's drawn short of the line. Now, was he over the line before there was a second movement?
And the referee said no. 6-3 it is still for England. 4 minutes plus injury time of this half to go. Dacey. 2 penalties to 1 for England, 2 by Dusty Hare, of course, and 1 by Howell Davies. Both sides determined to spin the ball a bit today, but finding penetration and the breaks difficult to achieve. Bainbridge not clinging to it. Holmes so England there with only 6 of the side that drew with Wales last season. Holmes, Watkins playing scrum half, and away by Dacey. So all in all, this match very much a new experience of an England-Wales encounter at Twickenham. Only 4 of the Welsh side having visited Twickenham before. Uncontrolled. The Welsh pack there first. Holmes into the gap. Cosworth. Titley putting the pressure on. Blakeway, Mike Stevens, Scott, Andy Dunn. Good driving play, Youngs, but Howell Davies is going to send the right place, but the bounce beat him. Winterbottom follows through. The Welsh fullback caught and now enveloped as Colclough comes in. The England pack, but still somehow the Wales pack did well. Dacey, Bleddyn Bowen, and again the solid tackling, that time of Woodward, and the ball forward. But the marking really has been tight and close.
Yes, the tackling is excellent, but again, I wonder whether Wales did the right thing in trying to move the ball. They had ample time from that pressure situation in which to clear the ball, which is something I think they should do, because England, I think, are a little bit in the driving seat at the moment.
Well, perhaps a drop goal chance here for Cosworth. Opts to run it. Woodward, done Mr. Barley. Carlton on the crash ball, tackled by Bowen again. Solid defence, both sides. And that really the dominant feature of the game. The half-backs and the midfield men really with very little time in which to operate. Just outside Wales 22. England judged guilty of dropping that one, so chance for Wales to play it some way downfield. Howell Davies gives it a big thump. Fine touch. Capacity House, and England on their own ground. Half a minute from normal time in this half. 6-3 ahead. 2 penalties to 1. The flurry of tries that many might have been hoping for, but you got to put a lot of that down to the quality of the defence. Wales now, Holmes to Dacey. Floats it inside to his half-back partner. Holmes and the dummy getting him past the tackle, but only finding touch. Norster. Driven over by the Welsh pack. Dacey inside Winterbottom. Good run. Holmes 5 metres out. Set up by the pack again. Dacey. Ackerman charges himself. Well, there were 4 men to 3 outside him, but they get a penalty in any case. But it looked as though a try was on then.
Yes, but I do like the confident way in which Wales are moving the ball. They're changing the tactics very, very good. They're playing the blind side one moment with Dacey flitting on the blind side. Reminded me very much of Barry John in his heyday. The support of Terry Holmes was fantastic, considering he hasn't had that much practice. But then when Wales had the opportunity for the ball to come back, it was moved very swiftly along the line. And England, under pressure, had to give away that penalty opportunity.
So Hal Davies to level it. Yes, he does. 6 points all, and well, England perhaps some relief there that they didn't concede the try that was very much on, but superb tackling again, and that time it was Barley on Ackerman.
I suppose one must give credit to Wales for coming back, because England, although haven't made use of their pressure, territorially are very much on the have had the advantage of the first half, but Wales are really plugging away.
So from the restart, Eddie Butler, former captain, sets it up. England go over the top. Steve Bainbridge, British Lion, alongside his Lions partner Maurice Colclough. It's Bowen, meant to get greater distance on that, but it matters not. The half-time whistle goes then with quite fairly, I think one would judge on that 42 minutes play. The score's levelled, 2 penalties apiece, 2 for England by Dusty Hare, 2 for Wales. Starts the second half. His opposite number, Dusty Hare. So for England, very much in mind before this game, only 1 championship win in their last 7 matches. Perkins that was, but Moriarty gets it back. Holmes, Dacey, Carlton well positioned, but not so clever on the judgment. Recovers. John Carlton, first capped back in 1979 and chasing that England wing three-quarter record of Mike Slemon, 31 caps. Carlton now 25. England's 10-metre line. Deflection came from Ian Stevens. Holmes, those typical attempts at the burrowing run. Certainly looks slim and trim. Now that's one for Wales against the head. Holmes, Dacey, Carlton. Difficult ball but missed. Young's there. Cusworth playing the scrum half role, not finding touch. Hal Davies, a lot of room. Works the switch with Titley. Good break. And almost back in the same direction. Ackerman. Inside to Moriarty, halfway line. Holmes. Dacey. Rather down Dusty Hare's throat. As well judged. Wales 10-metre line. It's 2.5 minutes played in the second half. Moriarty again, that's useful height, but jumping off the shoulder gives England a penalty chance. So Dusty Hare on a ground where he's kicked England into the lead so many times. Altogether 57 penalty goals amongst his 210 points for England. And now a chance again to give the lead back to England. So from the South Terrace, that's how it looks. So Dusty Hare. Yet again. Superbly struck. The bigger the occasion, the more dependable the boot. So a hat-trick for Dusty Hare of penalty goals. And 3.5 minutes into the second half, 3 points ahead again, go England. Moriarty, Perkins, it's past Cosworth. Some rather slipshod final passes going on, but Pickering's done well. Hadley, tackled by Carlton. David Pickering, the one Flethley man in the side, made his debut against England last year. Flethley man since the age of 18, 5 years with the Great West Walian Club. Watkins to Butler, but Scott as well was there. Dunn, but Winterbottom's offside. In front of the nose of Brian Anderson. So within a minute of Hare restoring the lead to England, Hal Davies has the chance to level it again.
I wasn't quite sure there whether Winterbottom was offside or whether Anderson was penalising for the confrontation in the line-out. There's a lot of pulling and pushing, especially at the back of the line-out, between the last three there, and Brian Anderson is keeping a close eye on the situation.
So Hal Davies bidding for his first hat-trick in the championship. Succeeds. So 9 points for Wales, 9 for Hal Davies, who now has 34 points for Wales this season, and within striking distance of that record tally of Phil Bennett and Steve Fenwick, which stands at 38 points. 8 penalty goals, 3 conversions and a try in this, his first championship. So 9 points all it is. 6 minutes of the second half played. Still, I think the crowd awaiting the spark to set this one truly alight. Hal Davies and the touch on Wales' 10-metre line. Well, no doubt everyone perhaps hoping to see the sides cut loose, cast caution to the winds, but England-Wales, it's a difficult occasion to risk everything and gamble on all-out attack. But Wales attack now through Dacey. Hadley off Carlton.
It might not be the most exciting game in the world, but it's really tough up front. The forwards really squaring up to one another in the scrimmage and in the line-outs. It's a real tense battle there.
Won by Wales again. Pickering, Dacey. A game of angle kicks, high kicks, touch kicks. That one dropping down on Wales fullback. Took it well. Sets another up in turn. Woodward. Outside the 22. Trying to catch Hal Davies out of place, but Titley was there to cover. Here's a counter-attack chance for Dacey. Holmes. Cleverly placed. Holmes. Almost broke the whole way through. And Winterbottom was the person to get in his way. but that really was classic play from Holmes.
Well, we're talking that his presence was enough for Wales, but as the game progresses, he seems to be getting stronger. And to state the obvious, you can't give him an inch.
Indeed not. Youngs to Cusworth, defence. Well, England, I'm sure, bearing in mind Terry Holmes' try-scoring record of 7 in internationals, and it could well have been number 8 there. Holmes now. Dacey. Bowen. Oh, lovely dummy, carves his way through. The gap widens, in comes Hadley. At pace, Butler going for the post, back to Hadley. What a try, and under the post for Wales. Adrian Hadley's first try for his country, and a classic. The match needed that, and Wales take the lead for the first time. 8.5 minutes into this second half. So that's really set it alight. 2 more points by Howell Davies, but there's the man of the moment as the firecracker goes off.
Well, Wales have persisted in moving the ball. Watch how Wales now keep the ball going. It's Blethen who cuts it through very, very quickly here. Now Hadley has a lot to do here. It's credit to the young man that he finds Butler in support, and I think it's justified that it was Hadley who scored the try. An excellent try after a tremendous break by Bowen.
So 15 points to 9. Wales 6 ahead, and England now must gamble. Youngs, Cusworth switches to back into the box. Titley unable to control as Underwood came through. So Wales' 5th try of the season, and it really was a cracker. Great part played by Wales number 8 there, Eddie Butler, ploughing the furrow up the middle and being the final link man to give the scoring pass in return. And now the Welsh presence in the crowd, very apparent. Plenty of Welsh favours. But England try to come back with Dunn setting it up. Winterbottom, the 2 blonde England flankers. Youngs, Cusworth, Scott standing off, down by Pickering. About 7 metres outside Wales 22. Youngs, Cusworth again. Underwood tries to get past Titley, but no way. Youngs, Wheeler the link. Dunn standing in at scrum half. But it's fallen to Terry Holmes and Titley with the clearance. And some clearance. Well, 2 wingers of great promise. Mark Titley on the right from Bridgend, Adrian Hadley, the try scorer from Cardiff. And the Welsh supporters will look to see more from them. Sounds more familiar from Cardiff Arms Park as the crowd, the Welsh element, raise the team, but England fight back. But England are offside, and a penalty goes to Wales' way. John Scott terribly delighted with that. So Wales now with a real prospect of a first victory here for 6 years. Not one player in this Wales side has enjoyed that experience, and that's remarkable considering Wales' superb record in the last decade or two.
I think it was a big psychological boost for Wales, because England have been very controlled for the first half of the match and that start, but Wales have kept away tenaciously, scrummaged well, done well in the line-out, and it couldn't have come at a better time as far as they're concerned.
England now, for the first time then, behind in this match, trying to claw their way back in. Dusty Hare called up for the kick to touch for the line-out obstruction. Do you think there's been something of an aura about Twickenham in recent years for Wales? When you were playing here so often, it was almost a formality, the Welsh victory.
Well, the victory might be a formality, but the games are always hard and tense battles, and this is very much in the same vein today. If Wales are going to win this, they're really going to have to earn it, because England are far from finished.
And playing down into the Welsh half, but the clearance takes Wales about 10 metres beyond their 22. So a reshaped Welsh side. Significant, as with England, only 6 of this side played against England in the drawn game in Cardiff last year. None of the three-quarter line or the front row, which just shows the changes that have taken place and how effective they've proved to be, and the players having backed up the confidence given to them by the Welsh selectors. Bowen going for the long touch fine, but kept in play by Hare. And immaculate. So 6-point lead then for Wales. 14.5 minutes into the second half. Good ball again. Dacey. There's the signs of confidence, but lack of attention momentarily from Butler. Titley now. That was well judged. Titley didn't have the football boots on. Well, one of those hit or miss moments when if you just catch it right, he'd have had England in dire straits again. The bounce didn't favour him, so the line out. Wales throw in. Norster, Moriarty together. It's Norster. Watkins, Holmes, Dacey. Chip and chase. Underwood in two minds, it looked, as to whether to go for it on the full or pass straight to Wales. Bowen it was, shipped it on to Ackerman in front of England's posts. Holmes in possession. England interfere in an offside position and really give away 3 points quite unnecessarily, because this should be merely a formality for Hal Davies to take Wales at least 2 scores ahead.
All of a sudden England have lost their composure. They're now creating problems for themselves, and as probably Wales are trying to do in the first 20 minutes or so of the game, in moving ball and possession that they really shouldn't be doing, instead of getting back down to basics and playing the game from inside the opposition's half.
So a bit of uncertainty to add to that in defence, and Hal Davies, and a chance of Welsh history for Hal Davies. So Wales go ahead 18 points to 9. And for Hal Davies, a new Welsh point scoring record in a championship, to surpass that of Phil Bennett in 1976, of Steve Fenwick in 79. 39 points now in the one and his first championship season. But more importantly at this moment, a 9-point lead for Wales, which really puts England on the rack.
What is probably a little bit disappointing for the English fans is that England have won enough possession, but they haven't been quite sure in which way to move it. I think they've dithered and messed about a little bit too much in midfield. they haven't been sure whether to move the ball or kick it. They should have taken better advantage of the possession that's been won by their forwards.
True enough. And Wales a bit over-optimistic at that line out through offside. So it's England relying for their point scoring once more on Dusty Hare. Last season it was 14 penalties in the championship, 42 points out of 55 scored. And once more Hare, this time going for a fourth penalty goal to keep England within striking distance. Cut the margin to 6 points if he gets it. Well, where would they be without him? 4 out of 4. And England still then in touch, 6 points behind, but still 22 minutes remain. And Dusty Hare infallible with the place kicking. (18-12). And is this the overture to something special? And a bit of individual battle going on there with Norster and Scott on the best of terms. Wales offside.
They probably said to each other, just wait this training on Monday at Cardiff and I'll have you back.
Dusty Hare finds touch. And now the crowd really coming to life. Prospect of a thrilling last 20 minutes. 18-12. Wales bid for glory. Perkins trying to catch England offside with the dummy feedback. Watkins, Holmes, and now Dacey for touch. Sliced it. Carlton, chance to run or kick. Useful ball. Dacey's back there, but the pressure of Carlton told on the follow through, the knock on, and England's put in. Well, nice touch from Carlton there. How much though he'd love to be on the try scoring end of a movement to add to the second of the 7 he scored. Certainly only one last season was the one he scored, which was against Wales. Wales, good shove in the set piece. Youngs, Cusworth, misses out Barley, Woodward, Underwood. Carlton there, the two wingers in concert. Another high ball from Carlton, taken by Hadley. Calls for and gets the mark. Well, fine touch anyway. Adrian Hadley, memorable day for him as yet with his first try for Wales in an official international. Try, of course, that he scored earlier was against Japan. England now desperate to score. 80 metres out from Wales line, but Moriarty pulls it back and Holmes clears the danger. Well, he's still surviving, and whatever else, this has been an amazing return for someone whose rugby days seemed sadly to have ended in Christchurch, New Zealand last June. But Holmes is still there. Wheeler with the throw. Norster takes it in. A couple of dummies by Perkins again, and Holmes too as well, but this time it's for real. And away by Dacey. Again, as with the season, Wales seem to be growing in confidence all the time.
You can see that in the way that they're holding the ball at the back of the line out. And Perkins trying to catch the English side offside. It's been, up until now, very scrappy with both sides making possession bad for their scrum halves. But Wales seem to be getting the better quality possession at the moment.
And once more, they've taken the ball on the England throw-in. Holmes and Dacey. Composure So the famous Twickenham turf, and perhaps the most famous of all international matches, England-Wales. Cusworth, Varley's feed through to Carlton. Youngs, quite sure which option to take, but drops that one sweetly. Unlucky on the bounce though, and down for the dropout by Hal Davies.
Well, England's back moves do look full of enterprise, but they don't seem to be decisive enough. They look well rehearsed. Most people know exactly what is happening, but nothing seems to be coming of them, and it was Nick Young's kick that almost caused Wales the most problems.
Maybe that's half the problem, that Wales seem to know exactly what they will be doing. Not so much off the cuff, but a chance now. Woodward, Carlton, they're the two wingers. Underwood, Tipley, and again, sound cover defence. But always that little flurry of excitement in the crowd when Underwood and Carlton have a bit of room, and a bit of steam underway. The dual wings in attack. Colclough's tap, Youngs, Cusworth, Woodward, Varley, Hare this time. And the variation beginning to look more threatening. Dacey did well to get back on his feet. Now Moriarty. Holmes, Ackerman. And they'll be pleased with that one at Strawberry Hill, the student of St Mary's College, Twickenham. Originally of Newport, now of course with London Welsh. And the line-out held up for attention to John Scott with a nasty-looking gash on his head.
Yes, I've said on more than one occasion, it's a hard, uncompromising battle in the forwards, and that proves it there with Scott's face. But the game suddenly has burst to life with the Welsh try, and England now throwing caution to the wind, moving the ball far more than they've done throughout the game, but not being able to break through the Welsh defence at the moment. But it really makes for a very exciting last 15 minutes or so of the game.
With Wales leading 18-12. The one try by Adrian Hadley, and a beauty it was. For Scott, but Butler recovered it from the tap down. Dacey, Hadley challenging Cusworth. The ball rebounding off Carlton's boot. Cusworth picks up. But the Welsh pack there in unison. Young's in trouble, but the whistle's gone as Pickering breaks away, but is called back with a penalty already awarded to Wales. So it's Howell Davies called up by Mike Watkins to try and re-establish that clear advantage of at least 2 scores ahead. 14 minutes to go, and Wales at this moment 6 points ahead. Howell Davies already with 14 points in the match, and that record, that new record tally of 39 in this championship. Can he increase it? Not this time. And perhaps an important miss that to keep the blood coursing around the England veins and keep the possibility there of drawing level at least.
I'm sure that Howell Davies thought that as well, because as we've said on occasions, comparing to a golf shot, he lifted his head up as he was about to strike that ball, whereas beforehand he's been really hitting the ball sweetly.
Pickering with the charge down. Sorry to break in, but almost the drama, but in fact the referee deciding that the player had come across the 22.
But I'm sure David Pickering is thinking it's got to be his day. He's got so close to scoring on a number of occasions today. Probably is a bit over anxious then.
A drop out again then for Dusty Hare. Butler. Clinging to it like a leech, but now it's for Holmes and Dacey. Forcing Underwood to turn. Across comes Dusty Hare. And good tactics there.
Yes, you can see the Welsh tactics now becoming more and more apparent, where they're spinning the ball back on the blind side initially, tying the English forwards in and then spinning it back to the open side.
Loose possession from the line-out, and back in touch, England's throwing. But time now favouring Wales. 12 minutes remain. Their lead, 6 points. Norster again on England's throw-in. Dacey, Blevin-Bowen, Hadley into the pincer. But see the support of the Welsh back row to help him out and keep possession. England's 22, back it comes from Watkins, Holmes. Dacey tries the long drop goal attempt. Superb! Malcolm Dacey, a drop goal against England last year, and now this a vital score to re-establish a 9-point lead, and really emphasising Wales' confidence and control of this match.
But it was the strength of Hadley and Bob Ackerman which had set it up initially for Wales to get the ball back. Moriarty was in very, very quickly, and Holmes put the ball back. It was far from a formality for Malcolm Dacey, but he's had an excellent afternoon, and that was justice indeed for him to kick that goal.
21-12 then, and Wales with their sights now on a grand flourish to this season. Just over 10 minutes to go. 9 points, the margin of Wales' lead, and they're good for that. Scott for England. Colclough getting up the steam. Dunn. Barley. Causing Wales speed across in defence. So the signs that Wales are going to complete this season of recovery in good style. To think that it began with a crushing defeat at the hands of Romania, 24 points to 6, but some shrewd selection and some good leadership have transformed Wales' picture. Brian Barley of Wakefield, a proud day for that club with this man as well from there. There's Cosworth. Now it's Woodward. Scott. The pick-up by Andy Dunn. 4 metres out from the Wales goal line. Can England break through at last? Youngs. Cosworth. Carlton in the line. Trying to find that hole. Brought down a couple of metres short by Bob Ackerman. Forwards pile in desperation. Wales kill it and are penalised. And what will Wheeler opt to do here? What would you do, Gareth?
Well, with 10 minutes to go, I think I would probably take the kick. It's a certain 3 points. I know it's easy to say that he should run it, but there is 9 minutes on the electronic scoreboard showing that there's plenty of time to come back.
So it's Dusty Hare to keep those hopes alive for the English supporters again. The margin back to just 6 points. 5 penalties out of 5. What a brilliant performance of the skill of goal kicking by Dusty Hare once more.
England have to make the score, and of course, but you know, with just keeping the score to 6 points between them, it keeps the pressure on Wales.
And I should add at this point, a new record tally for England. This time Dusty Hare, 15 points out of England's 15, 44 points for the season to surpass that of 42 last year. So 2 record-breaking performances by the 2 fullbacks today. So a moment of record-breaking for Dusty Hare, but he'll be more concerned that England still trail by 6 points. 21-15. 8 minutes to go. Wales ahead. And bidding to restore their great record of post-war years at Twickenham. The last couple of decades anyway. but haven't won here for 6 years, but now they're 6 points ahead. And Wales still fully aware, as Mike Watkins there, the hooker must be, that his side have not got this one won yet. England's 22. Terry Holmes back and with a vengeance. Control up front. Dacey slopes off to the right, cuts back in. Possession lost inside the England 22, but regained. Holmes, Hull Davies, Titley for the corner, back inside to Hull Davies, but a forward pass pulls him back. That really would have rounded off a triumphant day for this man, but no, a forward pass as England floundered on the narrow side. And while Malcolm Dacey receives attention, let's see how close Wales came to a try that perhaps might have been the clinching score for certain.
Well, it's Dacey using the Welsh ploy, going back on the narrow side again. Dare I say it yet again, he's flitting like a butterfly and like Barry John of old. But it's the ball had come out on that blind side there for Howell Davis and Titley. Some tremendous into passing, and the pass must have been marginal. But once again, credit to referee Brian Anderson, who's right on the spot and is pointing to the forward pass.
So Wales denied, as they were towards the end of the first half, so close to a try for Pickering then, and so close to one for Howell Davies, which would have been his second in this debut season for him. But here's a man who's really been very much the controller, very much the style, as Gareth just mentioned, of a Barry John. Malcolm Dacey, recovering from a tweaked hamstring, which made him at one stage a doubtful starter, but my word, how well he's played here at Twickenham. So the margin stays at 6 points, 21-15 to Wales, and 5 minutes to go. That's a little injury time. England under pressure. Away by Dusty Hare. And again, credit to him for his soundness in defence, and indeed his outstanding place-kicking ability. Holmes, Dacey, Glennon Moen, forcing Hare to cover the whole width of the pitch.
Well, Wales are actually dominating the line-out now. In the last three line-outs, there's been Moriarty has won the ball, Noster has won the ball, and obviously on that last one, Perkins was taking it cleanly to the front of the line. And that's where I think the game has changed, where the balance has changed in the last 15 or 20 minutes.
So problems then for the British Lion pair of Colclough and Bainbridge against Perkins and Noster, but it was Bainbridge back with one that time. Dusty Hare looking, I think, for the chance to run it. Les Cusworth puts it away. Les Cusworth, should add, making it today with Brian Barley there too, products of Normanton Grammar School, and the coach there, Alan Jubb, who has produced both those individuals as schoolboys right through now to the top level of rugby. Holmes, dummy not bought by Wheeler, but Dacey's there in support, floated inside to Ian Stevens. Tackling back is Colclough, but the Welsh pack on top. Holmes again, but no. Called back, but only for a penalty to Wales, with England offside. And the pressure mounts. The confidence is there. How about this for Enterprise? Or not? Second thoughts, I think. The crowd had been cheering what looked to be the tap penalty to be run, but not surprisingly, with the lead of 6 points, if Hal Davis can round off this with a penalty goal, that surely would clinch it for Wales with only just a couple of minutes to go. Four penalties and a conversion, 14 points, the contribution already by the 24-year-old Bridgend fullback. Player, who like so many in this Welsh side, came through really on the Wales tour of Spain last summer. An unlikely place, but a good proving ground that tour was for the Wales selectors. Beating off the challenge of Gwyn Evans and Mark Wyatt. Howell Davies then. No, it's that same slight pull to the left that denied him his last one. So it stays at 6 points, the difference, and England hopes kept alive into the last couple of minutes plus injury time. 21-15. Dacey, that elusive running again, straight through the England pack. On goes Eidman. Over the line go Wales, but called back once more for a forward pass. Butler, I think, was the man who got over the line, but all for naught, because almost in the same position as that earlier try disallowed for a forward pass, it happened again. England breathe heavily, no doubt. Dusty hair. Well, the saviour in defence, the principal player in attack with that new record of points. "12 penalties for Dusty Hare this season, and just 2 tries, both of them in the last match against France for England. 21-15 Wales. Dacey, another drop goal attempt. He's done it again. Malcolm Dacey. Well, equaling that drop goal record of Les Cosworth now with his second drop goal and his third against England. Malcolm Dacey, beautifully judged, just lined it up in his sights, and that surely is the decider. Malcolm Dacey, and back 9 points clear as we move into injury time. Wales now bidding to round off the season in style. 24-15 they lead. Dacey there, who really has been, I think, the key figure in this match.
Without doubt, and so pleasing to see that the lad has come through what has been a traumatic season for him. He's been under pressure in his own country from other outside halves, but he's stuck to the way and the pattern in which he has played. He's kept the ball moving. He's played a tremendously tactical game today, and his just rewards have been those 2 fine struck drop goals, which weren't easy by any manner of means. The boys had an excellent day out.
So there are going to be 14 other men to go along with Bob Ackerman now, who've been on a winning side against England, and all 15 for the first time today will be winning at Twickenham for the first time too. 1978 was the last occasion, and it looks like the completion of a disappointment for England. Season began so well. Hare in trouble as Titley came through. It looked harmless enough, but just made it. (24-15), a minute and a half of injury time now gone. So Wales set to end up really quite remarkably with 2 away wins and no home wins in the championship, and perhaps a final try to come. Back goes Cosworth to put it out. Just to reiterate, Wales losing both matches in Cardiff against Scotland and France, but winning in Dublin, and now assuredly at Twickenham. 2 away wins, 2 home defeats. But what a turnabout it's been. 5 metres out from the England line. Scott with the tap down. England with a chance to run it now with a penalty award just beyond their end goal line. 2.5 minutes of injury time played. Youngs to Cosworth, but really again they leave it late. Winterbottom, the link No way ran Bob Ackerman for John Carlton. So it's Wales put in Holmes, marking his return in style. That's Hadley. Ackerman, can he stay on his feet to get there? Just brought short, a couple of metres out. And Wales penalised for going over the top. And England, well, in dire trouble again, but bidding to run it out of defence. Barley to Carlton with a bit of room for about the first time in the match. Back comes Hadley with the tackle. The final flourish by England, but the victory for Wales. 24 points to 15, a game in which they grew in confidence throughout. The outstanding performance by Malcolm Dacey, playing off a pack whose performance improved.